Namaste guys, and welcome to this fourth video in our Vim tutorial series. And in this video we'll take a look at more operators, and we'll also introduce a concept of count, and finally we'll look at how to combine operators, motions and counts together to perform to actually build a more powerful command as you need in Vim. Okay, let's get started. So first thing I want to show you guys is an example of how you're able to do quick fixes using Vim. Okay, so I'll open a script that I have. Let's try running it first. So it just prints 10 numbers, right? It's a shell script which prints 10 numbers, and let's edit this file using Vim, and I want to have this file print just first 5 numbers, say. So what I would do is, in my workflow, I'd press W, 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 right? And I would probably delete a word here, and I'll go to insert mode by pressing I, and I'll hit 5. Okay, that's my changes made. I'll escape to go to the normal mode, and colon W, Q to write and quit the file. Okay, so I've made my changes, and if I run this script again, there you go. I've just shown you how to actually do things using Vim, actually edit code using Vim, right? So now, based on what you've learned so far, you're perfectly able to make hotfixes to a file, even if that takes you longer than it would take in other text editors. All right, having shown that, let's begin by opening a file that I have laying around. It's a Python file, and we're going to edit this file, right? We're not going to make it run, but it's going to be useful for us because it has a bunch of content. Okay. So first thing that I want you to see is a command called syntax and on. If you say syntax on, Vim will automatically do what it can and try to highlight things in your code, right? So basically it identifies import as a keyword, def as a keyword, main as a token, and it also identifies comments. So it's not very good, but it's okay. So you get this by just Vim alone, and if you use plugins available out there, then you can really make Vim shine. Right, so let's look at more actions, more operators, right? So so I'm taking all of these motions that we've learned so far as granted. So if you need to refresh on that, then check out the third video, the one before this, and come back to this one. So things like W and hitting B to go back, and these J, K, H, and L to move around. You should know this by now. And so you know word and W for word and B for back, and there's also E, which is similar, which jumps by ends of word, right? So let's go back to an actual word. So if you hit E, it goes back to the end of the word. Okay. So contrary to W, which goes to the beginning of the word, E actually goes back to the end. Goes to the end of next word. All right, that's E. So we saw D for delete. So if I type D and W, then it deletes a word. U for undo. So, but if I type D and dollar, then remember dollar is actually used to go to the end of the line. So D dollar deletes from the pointing cursor to the end of the line. Okay. Same thing is done by capital D. So shift D does the same thing. It deletes the line from where your cursor is to the end of the line. Okay. And there's also another command called C, okay, which is almost equivalent to D, but it places you in insert mode after it has completed the action. So if I hit D, W, and I, so I've deleted a word and gone into insert mode. Now you can type whatever you want, right? So that same thing could have been achieved by doing C and W. Okay, so it deletes the word and puts you in the insert mode. All right, so same thing. And capital C is also, it deletes from the current cursor to the end of the line and puts you at, well, puts you at the insert mode. So capital C, you're already in insert mode. So it saves you one keystroke. It saves you from having to type I. All right, cool. That's C. Now, imagine if you had to delete these two words, program and to, right? You could do DW, DW, but that's really long. So what you can do instead is do 2 times delete word. Okay? So what just happened? Let me explain. Okay. U to undo. If I hit www, it goes to next word. But if I hit things like 2 times W, it jumps 2 words. Okay. If I type 3 times W, 3 words. So if you type in count the number of times that you want the command to be repeated, and then you type a motion key, then the motion key is repeated that many times. Okay. So 4 and word takes you 4 times, takes you 4 words away. So 4 and back takes you 4 words back. Okay, and so now you know how to combine count and motion. So let's just add in accent as well. Operators as well. So if I type 3 times delete and word, it deletes 3 words. Okay, so that's how Vim commands are constructed. You type count, you type operators, and then you type motion. Okay, all right. So let's delete the next 4 lines we have. Okay, so I want to delete 4 lines J to go down. So just delete it, the line you were in and 4 downs below it. Okay, so this one and 1, 2, 3, 4, these lines. So yeah, you can combine any of these motions we've seen so far, and any of the commands we've seen so far, operators, I should say operators, we've seen so far with counts to repeat that command as many times as you need. Saves you keystrokes. If you want to go down like 10 lines, then 10J takes you 10 lines. Let's bring back our line numbering. So I'll do in normal mode colon set number. There's our numbers, and also there's a new type of numbers in Vim that you can use, set relative number. So what it shows you is it's based on where your cursor is, it shows you the difference between the distance from your connect line to the line that is shown on the screen. That helps you like jump between lines really quick. If you want to go to the line with the else, which is 7 down, you just type 7J and you're at else. Okay, cool. That's that. Now let's look at undoing and redoing things. Okay, so DD is deleting the line. U is undo. If I want to redo it, I hit Control R. Okay, Control R for redo and U for undo. It doesn't make sense. You'd expect R to do that, but R to redo because U does undo. But yeah, it's Control R. Okay, so what does R do then, right? What R does is replaces the character under the cursor. So when your cursor is at C, if you type R, it will expect you to type something. Okay, so if I type capital C, then you can see the lowercase c was replaced by capital C. Okay, so if you want to replace this lowercase o with capital O, you can type R for replace the character under the cursor with capital O. Okay, so it lets you make changes to the content of the file without going to insert mode. U to undo, Control R to redo, and yeah, we've seen count, we've seen C, which is actually deleting followed by putting you in insert mode. And cool, so that's it for this video. And in the next video we'll take a look at how to search for things in Vim and how to replace things in Vim. See you in the next one.